The benevolent overlords at Google have, once again, bestowed upon us a gift we never knew we needed, VO3. This isn't just another incremental upgrade, mind you. This is the supposed genesis of video generation, a text-to-video AI so advanced it promises to revolutionize, nay, democratize the very fabric of the creative industry and advertising. Remember all those pesky, opinionated human filmmakers, animators, and editors? Or those outrageously expensive advertising agencies with their creative visions? Well, you can conveniently forget them. Because apparently with VO3, all you need is a clever prompt and poofus cinematic masterpiece, a viral ad campaign, a heartfelt brand story, all conjured from the ether. This narrative isn't here to laud this technological marvel. No, we're here to cast a cynical, analytical eye on the economic efficiencies that conveniently forget human livelihoods and the communication theories that highlight how hyper-personalization might just erode genuine connection, leaving us to ponder what happens when the machines make the art and we just consume. Get ready for a glimpse into a future so optimized, it might just be optimized out of all human soul. Behold, VO3. We're told it's the culmination of years of tireless, presumably coffee-fueled machine learning. It can render photorealistic scenes, mimic complex camera movements, animate detailed characters, and even score its own original music, all from a few carefully chosen words. Oh yeah, imagine the pitch, need a 30-second commercial for artisanal cheese set in a Tuscan vineyard, with a whimsical talking goat and a perfectly timed slow-motion shot of melted brie? No problem. Just type it in. We'll have it for you by lunchtime. No directors, no actors, no actual goats required. The promise, they say, is to unlock creativity for everyone. Anyone with an idea can now be a filmmaker, a content creator, a visionary. Sounds wonderful, doesn't it? Just ignore the muffled cries from film school graduates and animation studios. Let's talk about the creative industry first, shall we? The one that supposedly thrives on human ingenuity, passion, and years of honed skill. VO3's launch is presented as a grand democratization of video creation. But let's be brutally honest. For many, it's not democratization. It's deskilling. Why spend for years learning cinematography, lighting, editing, or narrative structure when an algorithm can hallucinate a technically competent version for pennies? The value of a human artist, with their unique perspective, emotional depth, and capacity for genuine serendipity, suddenly gets pitted against the infinitely scalable, infinitely cheaper, and infinitely tireless machine. This isn't disruptive innovation in the vein of a new, better way to do things. It's disruptive innovation that threatens to render the doers obsolete. The argument will be, oh, but humans will just become prompt engineers. So after years of mastering the delicate art of visual storytelling, aspiring filmmakers will now learn the even more delicate art of typing precise instructions into a black box. How inspiring. This is a classic case of labor economics being completely reshaped by automation, where high-skill roles are compressed into low-skill, high-volume tasks. The creative gig economy, already precarious, just got a whole lot more giddy. Now let's pivot to advertising. This is where VO3's supposed magic truly shines, at least in the eyes of the cost-cutting, efficiency-obsessed marketing departments. Gone are the days of agonizing over expensive shoots, celebrity endorsements, or those nitpicky creative directors insisting on artistic integrity. With VO3, advertising becomes an exercise in hyper-segmentation and algorithmic optimization. Need 50 different versions of an ad, each slightly tailored to a specific demographic based on their purchase history, browse habits, and astrological sign? No problem. VO3 can churn them out faster than you can say privacy concerns. From a communication theory perspective, this raises fascinating, if terrifying, questions. If every ad is perfectly personalized to your perceived desires, what happens to broader cultural narratives? To shared brand experiences? We're already trapped in personalized filter bubbles. VO3 just turns those bubbles into bespoke, AI-generated echo chambers. Brands will congratulate themselves on their relevance, but in reality, they'll be speaking to an atomized audience, each receiving a slightly different, algorithmically determined message. Where's the distinctiveness if everyone's using the same AI to generate their content? We might enter an era of aesthetically flawless, yet utterly generic advertising, all subtly tweaked but lacking any true soul or memorable spark. The ultimate irony being that in the quest for ultimate personalization, we arrive at ultimate blandness, generated by the same engine for everyone. And then there's the truly dark side. If VO3 can generate photorealistic video from text, What about deepfakes? The ability to create convincing, fabricated visual content on an unprecedented scale. Imagine the implications for brand safety when your CEO can be made to say anything, or your product can be seen in ethically dubious contexts, all generated by a consumer with a malicious prompt. The issue of source credibility in communication explodes. If we can't trust what we see on our screens, what does that do to the very foundation of visual communication, from news reporting to documentary filmmaking, let alone advertising? The erosion of trust isn't just a side effect. It's a fundamental challenge to how we perceive reality through a screen. Let's delve deeper into the economic theories underpinning this progress. This is disruptive innovation at its most brutal. It's not just disrupting incumbents. It's disrupting entire professional classes. The invisible hand of the market, driven by the relentless pursuit of efficiency and cost reduction, is now wielding an AI sledgehammer. Who truly benefits from this? Primarily, the platforms that own the AI, like Google, and the largest advertisers who can leverage its scale. This creates even greater information asymmetry, where the power to generate, disseminate, and control visual narratives becomes concentrated in fewer and fewer hands. The democratization narrative rings hollow when it simply means pushing down the value of human creative labor while centralizing the tools of creation. We're told AI will free us from tedious tasks, but what if those tedious tasks were the very means by which many humans earned a living, developed skills, and found purpose? The economic model is shifting from human ingenuity as a primary value driver to algorithm optimization, reducing humans to mere input mechanisms for an increasingly autonomous system. From a communication theory perspective, the medium itself becomes the message in a way McLuhan could only have dreamed of, when the medium of creation is an AI. How does that fundamentally alter the message? Does AI, no matter how sophisticated, truly grasp the nuanced emotions, the cultural subtleties, the shared human experiences that make art and persuasive communication resonant? Or does it merely mimic patterns, producing content that is technically perfect but emotionally sterile? Can an algorithm genuinely understand love, loss, longing, or humor in a way that translates into truly impactful advertising, beyond just triggering a predictable emotional response? This is the core of the problem. Efficiency might produce content faster and cheaper, but does it produce value? Does it create a deeper connection between brand and consumer, or merely a fleeting, algorithm-driven interaction that passes as quickly as the next scroll? So where does this leave the human element, the very spark of creativity we so often laud? Are we relegated to being the final arbiters of AI-generated content, the human in the loop who just checks if the algorithm hasn't produced something truly bizarre or offensive? Or are we, in our cynical wisdom, to become the last bastion of genuine, human-made art and advertising, a defiant counterculture to the perfectly synthetic? The irony, of course, is that humans are the ones defining what creativity means for the machines that will then proceed to outcreate them, often based on datasets scraped from human-made work. We're teaching the robots to replace us, then wondering why our jobs are disappearing. Oh, the humanity. In closing, as Google VO3 launches into the world, let's not be blinded by the shimmering promises of effortless creation and unparalleled efficiency. Let ease cast a skeptical eye on the claims of democratization and question the true beneficiaries of this technological leap. For the creative industry, it signals a painful, if not existential, reckoning. For advertising, it offers unprecedented control and speed, but at what cost to authenticity, distinctiveness, and trust? Perhaps we are entering an era where the machines make the art, the algorithms shape the messages, and we, the consumers, are left to sort through a perfectly rendered, endlessly personalized, yet utterly hollow digital landscape. Perhaps we've truly optimized ourselves out of the picture, leaving only the cold, hard logic of the algorithm to define what's next. And isn't that just grand?